All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Let me make sure my camera's on. There we go. Yeah, I don't look purple today. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God for small favors, right? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. We'll give the room a few minutes to start. I'll just say hello to everybody till then, and we'll get cooking. I was just telling Natasha, my wife, I was just telling her how I feel like we just got off the plane on Sunday from from New York, and it's already Friday. Like, where did this week go, right? Where did this week go? So let's say hello to everybody. Ivano, Arnulfo, Jill, Stefan, Jody, Lydia, Devin, Brian, another Brian. We got a double Brian today. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Javad, good morning to you. And happy Friday. Wayne, David, Spider Monkeys in the house. I love that. Ohio, cool. Virtuvian, Stan, Bill, Sassy Trainer, Piet DeBrock, Gregory. Good morning, Cam. Good morning. I posted for you the catalysts this morning. Wade, Robert, Tom, Dr. Serena. Good morning and happy Friday to you. Hope you're well. Nathan, good morning to you. Steve, Edward, JB, Kirk, Jeff, Steve, War Dog is in the house. Harold. We got I'm losing track here. Got a lot of people here for we got Charlie. Charlie, good morning, Charlie. Harold, Charlie, Kevin, CJ, Jean. Good morning, John. Andre, Henry, Sherman, Tim, Doug, Martin. Good morning, Martin. Rosalind, Richard from Puente Gorda. Got your email. Thank you. James, Illinois grain farmer. Rick, Pat, Geothi, Charles, Timothy, Thomas, Andrew, Anna Kumar, Alan, Helen, Dave, John. We'll talk about the catalysts in just a few seconds, Richard, but I'm glad you're on it. I'm glad you're on it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ozarks, Korea, is it getting warm at the Ozarks or is it still chilly there? I bet the weather right now is beautiful over there. Debbie, Mike, we got Bruce, we got Jesse, Sylvan, Mike, Randy, Duzzy, Ray, Mark, Cheese Grater Trader? What is that? Cheese Grater Trader. I got a Cheese Grater Trader. What the hell is that? Good morning, Cheese Grater Trader. Kiang, Matt, Steve, Donald, Matt. Good morning. Matt says good afternoon. Where are you, Matt? Are you in Europe? Are you in Europe or Asia or somewhere? Because it's like it's 8 in the morning here. John, good morning. Good morning and happy Friday. Jad, Michael, Javad says, I made the cost of Trading Zone live back in first 3 days. You're welcome, Javad. You're welcome. I'll go ahead and post that. By the way, I want to say that I'm not 100% sure, but I think yesterday you guys broke the record for sending me the most testimonials that I've ever received in any one day. I spent yesterday 6 hours with testimonials. All I did yesterday was post testimonials and trade. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I want to show you this. This is yesterday. Geez, if I could find it. This is yesterday. It's loading. It's taking a lot of time. I'm just scrolling through yesterday's testimonials. Look at this. I'm about 1/8 done, maybe. Look at this. You guys are amazing. You guys are fantastic. How you guys are making money. Look at this. I'm still going through the testimonials. This is Richard bought his daughter a new car. We love that one. Look at that. That's yesterday, guys. All I was doing literally all day long was posting testimonials. It was fantastic. I do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Switzerland, very nice. That's very nice. I figured you were somewhere beautiful. Korea says temp right now is 54, will be around 75. Wonderful rain, making more greens. Yeah, it's beautiful over there. It's absolutely beautiful in the Ozarks. Okay, so we got enough people here. We got 300 people here. Carlos says, is there a common denominator to all of this? Yeah, winning trades. Yeah, winning trades. That's the common denominator. Pure winning trades. We've been having just winning trades lately. It's been great. It's been great. Okay, so let's start off with what is the catalysts? Catalysts with an S, plural. What are the catalysts for today? Good morning, Deanna. Don, Peter, Kathy, JD Lang, Karen, Rick, Bob. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Stacy, Naples fan. Good morning. Harry, good morning. Good morning. Does anybody know what are the catalysts for today? Does anybody know? Thank you, Kathy. Wow. Woo. That's crazy, CJ. Do you guys read what CJ just wrote? That's insane. I don't know if I can do that, CJ. That's pretty good. 96% win rate and a 34 profit factor. Whoa. Okay, let's talk smack here. Let's talk business. Here are the catalysts. Let's get a few more people to write their catalysts and then I'll give you my catalysts, okay? Carlos says US China trade talks, chip sector tailwind, upbeat earnings, FED speakers. Richard wrote China, chip stocks. Jeffrey wrote FED speaking, tariff talk. Trump talks major breakthrough. No, that we already did that yesterday. Huh. Okay. Do you guys want me to give you the major catalysts for today? Thank you, CJ. Thank you. That's the nicest thing that anybody could ever like. So, folks, making $100,000 is worse than getting this testimonial for me from CJ. I would rather get a testimonial like that than make 100K. That's how much I love you guys, and that's how important this is for me. All right, so here are the catalysts. Please write this down. Catalyst number one, we have Fed speakers all day today. Okay? Fed speakers all day today. All day today, Fed speakers. Catalyst number one. Catalyst number two is the trade talks between China and US. Okay? Trade talks catalyst number three is the 200-day moving average and the QQQ. And catalyst number five is whether the breakout in Bitcoin can continue at what it means for the market. There's four catalysts today. There's four things happening today. I'm going to repeat them again. Jerry says, where do you find the news? Right here, Jerry. I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you a link. Right here, look. Right here. Every day. Here, I'll give you today's right here. I just posted today's, okay? Now, this is not where I get all of it, but this is a good place to start. Just go to bar chart. You don't have to have the premium. You can have free. And just go right here to the headline. It's always right here, the headline. Whatever the headline is. That's what I use to that's what I dissect every morning for you guys right here. See? It's always the same thing, guys, and it doesn't cost you anything. Capiche, Jerry? Doesn't cost you anything. I just posted you a link. Good morning, Eagle Beagle. I hope you are well. Hey, Bob. So, I'm going to repeat what I just said. Fed speakers, and excuse me, it'll be even more important today after what we heard from the Fed, from Powell, because everybody's going to be waiting to see today if they say things are getting worse or things could get worse. Big difference. Things are getting there's clouds on the horizon. There could be clouds on the horizon. Powell went with there could be clouds on the horizon. We want to see them saying there are clouds on the horizon or there may be clouds on the horizon. The difference between that makes all the difference in the world, okay? So that's catalyst number one. That's going to impact the bond market. Obviously, trade talks this weekend. I don't have to explain to you the relevancy of that. Why is the QQQ a big catalyst? What will happen if this breaks out above the 200-day moving average? That's a major move for tech. That's a major, major breakout level for tech. Do you know how many stocks right now are making this pattern? Tons. Don't you think it's really important if the QQQ can get above the 200-day moving average? Yes. Yes. And finally, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is breaking out, folks. This is what I want to see with the stock market. Folks, the longer you do this, the easier it will be for you to see what's moving, what's the catalyst, what's shaking and baking in the market every morning. If you cannot figure out what the catalyst is, you will not be able to effectively gauge the market. If you do know what the catalyst is, you will know what all the major players are that day, and you'll have a much better idea of whether the idea is getting validated or not. Okay. All right, let me give you guys some links. I will be live today. I'll be talking about day trading. I'll talk about how we were able to do um, a win rate of 94% over the last year and a half. I will be live today. Yesterday, it was a recording. Today, it'll be live. Yes, I did mention Bitcoin yesterday, and I said we're at a very interesting point. And the fact that Bitcoin is rising is causing me to pause on U.S. stocks, because if Bitcoin and gold are rising, that means there's a lot more non-confidence in the U.S. dollar. So it means it's a big deal. So let me give you the link to customer service to VIP room, folks. Today's the day. Uncle Roger, I don't think it's reliable, Dr. Serena. When it goes up and down 100, I don't think it's reliable. It is what it is. You know, we'll have to send a letter to our favorite Ukrainian friends, the owners of Google. I don't know if you know this or not, but 50% of Google is owned by a Ukrainian chap by the name of Serge. But yeah. All right. And let me give you customer service live. Yep. I told you yesterday, we got to watch Bitcoin. We got to watch Bitcoin. So today I will be discussing your favorite stocks, and I'll be telling you if they're good, if they're not, and why they're not. This is going to be the fourth session that I'm going to do. Every time I do these sessions, they're extremely popular because I teach you guys how to visually find stocks that are confirming or denying what we like. If you have an opportunity, I highly recommend you join today's session. Not only will I be going through your favorite stocks, but I'll be telling you why your favorite stock sucks or looks amazing. Okay? Hmm? What? Sergey? What? Sergey. Sergey. His name is Sergey. Sergey. Serge. His name is Serge. Sergey. Sergey is a Ukraine is a west eastern way of saying Serge. Just Jen. Serge. His name is Serge. Sergey. Yeah. That's right. That's right. We waited, held out, and waited for the market to show the way. Exactly, which is what we always do, Eagle Beagle. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we got today. Not expecting a big market today, especially due to the fact that the biggest catalyst is obviously going to be China over the weekend, and we don't know what that's going to give. So I'm expecting somewhat of a muted market. Yes, Sergey, exactly, Jeff, Sergey. You guys know who Sergey Brin is, right? Right? The inventor of Google, right? He's from where I'm from. Yes, Brin, exactly. Yes, that guy. He came from the same place that my family and my wife's family's from. Good morning, Eduardo. He's a pretty smart guy. All right. So be watchful here. Nasdaq is leading, but this is random. And also, I don't really like the fact that volatility is so low heading into the 200-day moving average. I mean, look at volatility here and look at volatility here. It looks like we've died off. It looks like a dead cat. It's very hard to break through the day before a major announcement. I doubt today this is going to break through. I doubt it's going to break through. Another reason why I doubt it's going to break through is because if you look at the SPY, the largest shareholder that owns Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yep, that's right. They also invented Google as well. So pretty smart guy. So you see how we're still far away from the 200 on the SPY? I'll talk about all this, but I don't like the price action right now. It's sheepish. It's very sheepish. I don't like this price action. It's not confirming anything. It's more of wait and see mode right now. Even yesterday after the news came out, it didn't really do anything. The market didn't really do anything. This is wait and see. Also, remember I mentioned to you when we get to this level, we have a huge liquidity pocket right here to the left of us, okay? All right, let's go through the fundamentals. We got a bunch of Fed speakers today. We don't have any earnings today, but I am very curious about how Coinbase did and how Net and COP did. I'm sure you guys can post that for me. Yep, they did. They did say that. Um, Curious to see how these did. If you guys know how these did, let me know. Yes, China and US can move either way or move no way if it's not uh, um, anything at all. Michael, there was no Ukraine Russia till 1988. After the war went down, Ukraine was part of Russia. We all came from USSR. You understand, Michael? There was no Ukraine back then. Back then, it was the way that Putin wants it to go back now. Ukraine was not a separate country. You remember that? It all started, the wall went down, 1988, 89. Before that, Ukraine was part of Russia. There was no Ukraine. All right. A little history for all of you. Bond market. What's the bond market doing, folks? Right. Yeah. See, Putin just wants everything to go to how it was before 1988. The majority of the immigrants came here in 1979 and then 1988. That there were two immigrations. Yeah. 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 Very cool, Brian. Very cool. Coin missed expectations, and then somebody said Coin beat on revenue but missed on earnings big. Okay. So look at the bond market. Is the bond market helping us today? No. Did the bond market help us yesterday? No. The bond market's below the 8-day EMA, and the bond market's very close to the bottom here, which means the bond market is not buying whatever Trump and this whole tariff things. It's not buying it at all. Yield is higher right now than it's been in the last 10 days for your mortgage, adjustable mortgages, and so forth and so forth. Okay. US dollar. Now, you may say to me, Roger, how come this chart looks a little different than the usual US dollar chart that you post? I realized I wanted to have my VWAPs and volume, so I switched it for the futures, okay? So it's just a little bit differently, but it gives us more information because it'll post the VWAPs and it'll post volume. So you could see overall volume has been increasing, but we're stuck at this VWAP right here, the quarterly VWAP right here. And if we can't get above this VWAP, we have another VWAP, and then we have the 50-day moving average, and then we have the 200. The truth of the matter is we've got a lot of levels to unpack here. And the point is we got to get past 102. We are par right now. We are above 100, which is positive. Yeah, Javad. That's how we all used to before this thing started. So just everybody. Before all of this started, we were all Russian Jews. Now we've become Ukrainians. Till a few years ago, we were all Russian Jews. There was no difference between Russia and Ukraine. And this is why I tell you folks that this is horrible. This is a civil war. My aunt lived in Moscow. My dad lived in Odessa. My grandpa, there was no Ukraine, Russia. It was just one place. Okay. So just FYI. This is all new, Ukrainian versus Russia. Everybody spoke Russian. Nobody spoke Ukrainian. Not one person in my family speaks Ukrainian. Everybody speaks Russian. So it was just one big thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was all Russia. We were all Russian. In principle, what Putin wants to do is not that bad. How he is doing it is god awful. Okay. All right. Uh, Here, I want to draw this for you guys. Do you see where we're at right now on the futures? See this trend line? We are at a very, very interesting point right now. Where if we break through, we can come up to the 102, 103 level. A little bit, not really Naples fan. My wife makes fun of me when I do. I speak Russian like I am in first grade. I speak Russian like I'm in first grade. I understand everything, but I speak Russian like I'm in first grade. And even though my family's from Odessa, which is Ukraine, and we have over 100 people in my family, nobody speaks Ukrainian. Everybody speaks Russian. Good morning, Robert. Yeah, I understand it, Naples fan. I can understand it, but my speaking is rough, rough, like I'm a first grader, and I'm embarrassed to hell to do it. Yeah. And by the way, a lot of people in Ukraine right now, they want Russia to win. They just don't want the violence, but they want Russia to win because Ukraine will be more valuable if it's part of Russia. So it's not what Putin is doing, it's how he is doing it. Just so you know. There you go, Lydia. See? A little bit, abyssal, a little bit. Говорить по-русски a little bit, a little bit. So, a little bit, Lydia. Говорите по-русски. A little bit. My wife is much better than me. See, my wife came here when she was 18 years old. So she speaks perfect Russian. But and my kids understand it, but it's rough. It's rough. Okay. Gold. Gold is still doing this whole thing. But it's fun. But it's well, Don, I was pretty much born here. You know what I mean? I don't really remember anything else. They brought me here when I was a baby, you know? So I don't really and that's why one of the reasons why I changed my name was because I was not my name did not fit me. I was about as American as apple pie and I had a really Russian name. So it was like, "What? How did you get that name?" Right? Exactly, Martin. Russian Jews. All right, all right. This is fun. This is fun. At least we're not arguing about politics, right? My grandfather came from Odessa in Romania. There you go. That's right. They spoke Yiddish. My grandparents all spoke Yiddish. That's how I know all the little words. See, this is fun. I'm getting to know you guys. I'm having so much fun. This is sorry, I don't mean to detract, but I'm really enjoying this conversation. Okay. Am I a U.S. citizen? Jill, come on. What are you not? Of course. Of course. It's a good question. Of course, I'm a U.S. citizen. Yuri, Michael, I talked about it many times. Yuri. And I found out that it was a girl's name, a Korean girl's name. That made me feel really good. I lived in Russia House dorm area to try to learn Russian, but I couldn't pick it up quickly enough, so I moved to Jill. Back then, it was we're talking early 70s. It was a whole different world. Basically, if your parents got citizenship, you became a citizen. My parents were citizens in 1970s. Yeah. Very nice, Lydia. Thank you. You guys cracked me up. You guys are funny. That would be funny, right? If I wasn't a US citizen, right? That would be so funny. Okay. So gold back to as I said, right around this level. Don't I wouldn't be in a hurry to buy anything right now. John Voight, after watching the movie, I always wanted to visit Odessa. Beautiful place, beautiful women. Definitely Ashkenazi. Definitely Ashkenazi. I'm a big Ashkenazi. No, ICE is not coming for me. You guys crack me up. Am I a U.S. citizen? That's priceless. Oh, this is my country. I don't know any other country. I don't remember anything else, and I can't read Russian, Michael. I see Yura to. There goes Michael. Sorry, I can't read. I can't read. There you go. Most people in New York, most Jews in New York that are Akanashis have my background. Like Steven Spiel, like most Jews in Hollywood and in New York have the same background as I do. Um, Mila Kunitz, you guys know Mila Kunitz? She came here, but she came second immigration when my wife did, like in the 80s. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, this is fun, but let's talk about the market. Aren't you also a Russian citizen with dual citizenship with you? No, John, I'm not a dual citizen. No, 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 no. I don't have any dual citizenships. I've never been back there. See, Martin says I have same background as you. 90% of Jews in New York, if you talk to them, or 90% of Jews in Hollywood have exactly the same background as I do. Good morning, Kirk. A little more about me. I've spent hours talking about my background, guys. Just so you know. Okay, so gold is coming down. I think to right here around 32, 31.50. We've mentioned this before. Uh, Giving us gray traders, or it's off to Siberia. Exactly. Yep. My mother's side, Nazis considered. Yeah, yeah. No, no problem. I love it. Everyone in this country came from somewhere. And that's why I get so upset when Trump starts talking about kicking people out. I mean, his wife came from, Eastern Bloc. The vice president's wife came from India. I mean, America is a melting pot, folks. It's a melting pot. All right. All right. Crude oil. Crude oil is breaking this level. We have a lot of stuff here and we have a lot of stuff here. I'm not expecting this rally to have a lot of legs. Not expecting this rally to have a lot of legs, and we have three levels of resistance above it. Very cool, Carlos. Very cool. Slovenia. There you go, Stacy. Yeah. If you're an Ashkenazi Jew, the odds are you have exactly the same background as I do. China. China doing nothing. Actually, very similar to the US market. We are in a wait and see mode. And you could see that right here. Look at mega caps, guys. You could see we're in a wait and see mode right here. Wait and see mode. Wait and see mode. Just wait and see mode. Now, um, Bitcoin. I do like Bitcoin. I will be looking at MSTR today. That's one of the stocks on my watch list today. And I'm also going to be adding GBTC because I like what it's looking like right now. I like how we're moving through this. There's no major resistance here till we get up to the 85 area. This is a pretty good run up. And I think one of the reasons why investors are putting their money into Bitcoin is because they have less trust of the global system right now, which makes sense in light of all of the turmoil that we've been having. Okay. Wow. That's pretty interesting, Penny. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Boyd says no one who came here legally is being kicked out, only those who came illegally. That is right. That is right. Except for a couple of people who got, by accident, but they're going to come back here. Okay. Let's put everything together and talk about the trading action. We got a lot of important stuff to cover today, but I'm going to tell you I'm really enjoying today's session. It's nice. Nice not to argue about politics. Friday, I'm having a class today. It'll be a lot of fun. Please don't miss VIP room. We had a lot of questions yesterday about how to select stocks. I had an education session in the VIP room. I talked about how to select stocks, and people were getting into the topic of actually how do you pick the stock before you put it on your watch list. So I'm going to do it again today. I've done this 2 or 3 times. It was the best. People loved this session because it'll show you how I pick the stocks that go from stock fetcher to this watch list. And I'm going to do it by picking your favorite stocks, and you guys will give me the stocks, and I'm going to critique those stocks. Okay. So investors are eagerly awaiting upcoming trade talks between U.S. and China set to take place in Switzerland. I wonder, do you guys know why it's happening in Switzerland? Like, is it because of the neutrality? Are they literally doing it because of neutrality? I mean, do we have that much distrust in China that we have to go to Switzerland? Trump has made us all real tired of politics, more so than we usually are. I feel exactly like you, Jeff. He's made my job 5 times harder. I don't agree with your Ukrainian talks. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm really tired of all of this I'm really tired of all of this political stuff. He was already going to be there. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I don't think I figured they weren't going to do this to like as an example. That's not a good precedent. But if he was already going to be there, that makes a lot of sense. I figured that was the case, just wanting to confirm. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yes, VIP session will be recorded and it'll be in the live tab. U.S. Trade Representative James Greer set to meet with China. Fingers and toes crossed. Hope it goes well. Bloomberg reported on Friday that U.S. side has set initial goal of lowering tariffs to below 60%. I think both China and U.S. want to make a deal. I think they do want to make a deal. I hope they negotiate in good faith. And I don't know what the answer will be. I don't think we'll hear anything till if I had to bet, Trump will probably start tweeting on or doing his thing on Sunday. So what, Peter, is Roger showing? Not you. A no side getting a benefit. Who called whom? Switzerland for show and signaling. Got it. Got it. Tony, that's pretty funny. I think, Doris, we only have about 18 months left. I think one of the reasons why Trump is playing hard and heavy is because he needs to push all of his agenda before the midterms. Because if he doesn't push his agenda through the midterms, he's going to become unpopular and he probably won't get a lot of leeway after the midterms. So I think, in essence, Trump only has 18 months to do what he's going to do. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. Axon surged 14%. Chip stocks advanced after Commerce Department said it didn't intend to implement AI diffusion rules. That there's a funny story about this. I don't have the time right now, but I will tell you if you guys remind me. I will tell you this story at lunch if you remind me. It's a funny story. It's actually how I was this right here. This Commerce Department intend to implement AI diffusion rule. That Biden implemented. That's how I knew that Biden was going to get elected versus Trump 8 years ago. Okay. Excuse me, 4 years ago. So I'll tell you the story later on. Applovian climbed over 11%. Digital advertising company. Match didn't do well. Consumer demand. Folks, notice Uber, Match, that other company that delivers food. I forgot the name. It's right here. DoorDash, Uber, and now Match. These are all luxury. People don't go to Match.com. They don't take Uber, and they don't deliver food unless they have excess money. Okay, this is not a thing that people need. This is a thing that people want. Hey, Marshall, how are you? Doris, Brian, put Switzerland has some nice hotels. Yeah, they do. They do. They do. Labor Department said on Thursday, unemployment is fine. It's fine. It's fine. We have an 83% chance that they're not going to take action in June. I'm pretty confident that'll be the case, although I do believe that at some point in the summer, maybe later in the summer, maybe in August, I don't think they meet in July, but in August, I think they're going to they are going to go lower. We have a lot of Fed speakers today. Keep your eye on the bond market. Very important. Europe is stable, but not really moving very much. Everybody's waiting to hear what the trade deal will be, but nothing is really moving. And remember, folks, it's Friday. Typically, Friday after 2 o'clock, the market tends to fizzle out. That's right, Nathan. They did. They did. They did. I think they're going to come to a deal. I just want it to be a reasonable deal for both countries. China closed lower as investors cautiously waited the upcoming trade talks. Semiconductor stocks underperformed. However, the benchmark index ended higher. They're all meeting in China. But my key here is not up 4% or down 4%. They're stable. Everything is stable. Hit a 6-week high as sentiment was boosted by U.S. trade agreement with Britain. Chips and financials led the gains on Friday. We will be looking at financials and chips today, but until we get above the 200-day moving average, I'm not seeing anything great. Now, I like how the market is up today, although it's random, but not enough. I mean, look at this. Trade Desk, solid revenue guidance. Cloudflare, solid revenue guidance. I'm surprised by this, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Microchip climbed. Pin interest climbed. I thought this was a done deal, but nope. But Affirm did not. Affirm did not. And that'll be the weak link today. I don't think earnings are going to be the big catalyst today. I think everybody's waiting for China. I think everybody's looking at QQQ and the 200-day moving average. Also, I personally feel it's going to be difficult for the QQQ to break above the two. You may want to write this down. I think it'll be difficult for the QQQ to break above the 200-day moving average. Here, let me show you. See how it's right at the 200-day moving average? Till mega caps are ready to break the 200-day moving average, until volatility is below this level right here. So here's when I think the broad market, meaning mega cap, SPY, and all of that will break the 200-day moving average. When we're below this level, or pretty much below 20, we're still in a fear zone. It would be ridiculous for traders, professional traders, to try to break the QQQ leading into an uncertainty weekend. Also, if you look at all of the sectors helping QQQ, you will see, look at the 200. Look at where we're at on semiconductors. We're not even there yet. Interesting. Very interesting, Stacy. Very interesting. Folks, if you haven't given a thumbs up yet, please do. And also make sure you're watching this at 1080p. Okay? 1080p. Right here. It's at the bottom circle. And also make sure you give us a thumbs up. I cheated and gave myself a thumbs up. Don't tell anyone. It'll be our little secret. Okay. Well, we might as well talk about semiconductors. All the indexes look like they're building a triangle right now, which is a good thing to build. The problem is, look at to the left. Look at all the stuff you have here. You got to get above this level. We don't have any clarity till here. And while we have volatility above 20, it's going to be very tough for the market to get up there. Okay? Chirag, why don't you ask me about FT&T Fortnite today during the lunch session where I'm going to be picking your favorite stocks? And I waited till after earnings on the S&P 500, which are pretty much done this week, to do that. Okay. So today in the VIP room, I will be covering your favorite stock. Okay. All right. Now let me give you a couple of links. I have a live day trading class at 1 o'clock today. We've been killing it in that program, by the way, just killing it. VIP room. Here's the link for the VIP room. It's at noon. And also, don't forget, who are you going to call? Not Sal. You're going to call customer service live when you have a problem. Not Better Call Sal, but customer service live. Okay. All right. Let's look at S&P. Notice they're all making a triangle right now. They're all in a triangle pattern, which is fantastic. The problem is, look to the left and look to the top. You've got a hell of a lot of resistance above you, and you have a hell of a lot of resistance to the left of you. You have a deep liquidity pocket, and there's no catalyst to get above the 200-day moving average. Do you remember what I told you? In order for us to break the 200-day moving average on the SPY, in order for us to be on this side of the wall, we have to have some real big news, like a trade deal with China would be a big news. Do we have that right now? No, we don't. Do we know if we're going to have it? No, we don't. Okay. What about semiconductors? Same thing. What about Dow Jones? Let's look at the Dow. Same things. Everything is an ascending triangle, but the 200 is above us. On the Dow, the 200 is at 422.25. On the SPY, the 200 is at 574. On the QQQ, which we're at the 200, literally at the 200, which we still have to break above the 100 in order to be on this side. We want to be above 498. Okay. There you go. Um, IWM. I heard some talk from Nathan and other guys that they're looking at small caps. I'm not there yet. I mean, they're lagging. They're still lagging behind. They haven't broken out of this first triangle yet. So I'm not seeing it yet. And also, I don't really see a lot of love for small caps till the bond market starts getting up here, starts getting defensive. 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 By the way, Richard, I love plantains. I love plantains. Oh, God. All right. Let's look market internals. How are market internals looking? Is tech leading or is it coming off? Well, Bitcoin, chips, retail, mid-cap, industrial, Russell 2000. Look where QQQ is now. Do you think the QQQ... So let me show you something. Let me show you something and how valuable this is. Let's go back 1 week. Look where QQQ is a week ago, folks. This is important. This is important. Look where QQQ was a week ago. We're now deciding whether QQQ is going to break out, right? What has QQQ been doing? Nothing really, right? It hasn't been doing this. It's been doing this. This is just a random move. Okay, guys, it looks like QQQ is going to break out. Well, let's see how strong it's been. So here's QQQ on May 1st. You want to see where QQQ is right now? Down here. So again, May 1st, QQQ. Look where consumer discretionary was a week ago. Look where communication services was a week ago. Look where QQQ was a week ago. Look where technology was a week ago. Very nice, right? The only thing that's missing is semiconductor. Look at it today. Consumer discretionaries here. Communications here. Technology, which was at first spot a week ago, is now down here. So I'm going to ask you a question. QQQ was up here. Now QQQ is down here. Do you think QQQ has enough woomph to break out? That's right, Tony. Do you see that? Me too, Nathan. Me too. Mm, that's nice, Richard. That's nice. My dad loves plantains. He actually got me hooked up with plantains. So you see, the problem is we're coming up here, but we're doing it very slowly. And honestly, I don't even know if you want to call this coming up or just kind of sitting here, right? This whole little thing here, just kind of sitting here, right? So momentum on tech is declining. It's not increasing, it's declining. We're now in a fragmented place. Look, you got technology, communication, QQQ, uh, semiconductor, they're all over the place now. You've got Russell 2000, financials and mid caps and retail now. They weren't here a week ago. The market is becoming more fragmented, folks. The market is becoming more fragmented. The market is not becoming directional. The market is becoming more fragmented. Okay, what about number of stocks? Let's look at number of stocks. Well, 43 stocks making 52-week highs. Do we have a lot of directional momentum? No. 11 stocks making 52-week lows. Do we have a lot of directional momentum? No. How about 20-week highs? 32 stocks. How about 50-day highs? Well, look at this. We're at 90 now. We're at 90, but we're not at 100 yet, are we? Now let's look at 20-day highs. 431. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. Last week, folks, you had 50 stocks making 50-day highs and 700 making 20-day highs. Now you have, so it was 14, the ratio was 14-to-1. Now the ratio is 4-to-1. So let me show you this. Let me show you this. It's always important for me to show you this. 704. 704, Friday, May 2nd. 704. Let's go to last Friday. Here, right here. May 2nd. 57. So 700 to 57. Now it's here. 400 to 90. 700 versus 50, 400 versus 90. You can average. You don't this is not like you don't have to be 100%. Hey, there you go. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Thank you for all that you do. So, do you guys understand? It's getting better. The structure's getting tighter. As we consolidate here, our structure's getting a little tighter. We're getting close to a run on the 50-day line. Now, if the 50-day line, if this number starts getting up to 150 and this number stays here, that's okay. 3-to-1, 4-to-1, I can handle that. So we are starting to get a little bit more directional, but there's no major momentum yet. But we are starting to get a little foundationally, which is why I have a huge list of stocks to the long side today, which is why we've been trading aggressively this week in the pit. Remember, I told you once volatility goes down, we'll be okay. Boyd says intuitively that makes no sense. The market is much higher today than it was last week. How does it get higher without stocks getting higher? Market internals and market cap, Boyd. Boyd, let me ask you a question. What you're saying right now, Boyd, what you're saying right now shows you don't understand market capitalization. Let me show you something, Boyd. I'm going to teach you why you're wrong. Boyd, this is the Nasdaq 100. This is the percentage of the market cap of the stock impact. Boyd, what if Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, and AVGO went up? 5 stocks went up. And all of these stocks went down. Would the market go up or down? It would go up. It's not the number of stocks, it's the market cap. Look at the market cap. Microsoft has it has 9% of the index. Do you know how many of these stocks you can move versus Microsoft? Why do you think I look at mega caps every day? Capiche, Boyd? You're confusing market cap with the number of stocks. Big, big difference. Big, big difference. And I talk about that all the time, Boyd. Right now, you don't have the leading stocks moving, but it makes perfect sense if you take market capitalization into account. Also, if stocks are making a 20-day high and not making a 50-day high, that means they're just coming out of they're coming back up and not up enough to create a foundation. Exactly. Listen to what Alan just said. You see the error in your thinking, Boyd? Thank you for admitting it. Market cap. So we're starting to see this. Now, if this number starts coming down today, like to 60 or 50, forget about it. So, Roger, what do you think is going to happen today? I don't think anything's going to happen today unless it's triggered by either Trump saying something or one of these clowns saying something that things are getting much worse. Otherwise, I'm not seeing anything happening today. The markets right now are random. There's not a lot of directional bias. I think that it's going to be very hard for the QQQ to get enough mojo to break through, especially before a major announcement is happening this weekend. Also, the bond market is down. So I think we're going to huff and puff, sucker a bunch of weak hands into the market, and then I think we're going to go, randomness. So am I seeing a big trend day today? No, no, especially no, not in the morning. Again, all bets are off because this is a news-driven market. But if we don't hear anything, I'm seeing Friday choppiness. I'm also going to look at potentially giving you guys another credit spread for weekly cash flow. Okay. Now let me give you stocks that I'm looking at. Somebody's got to pay the bills around here. And it's not going to be Clyde, I'll tell you that. Folks, and if you want me to cover your favorite stock, that's what we're going to be doing right here in the VIP room today at noon. Here's the link for that. Yes, that's right, Jeff. Volume dries up after 1 p.m. on Fridays, typically. Yes. Matt's Johnson, you can ask me that at noon and I'll answer your question and I'll even show you a graph. Folks, today is your day. Today we pick your favorite stock. Okay? And Uncle Roger will either tell you how beautiful it is or he'll tell you how ugly it is. And you know me, I'm not holding anything back. We're not going to hold anything back. Beautiful chart breaking down. This was one of my stocks on the pit watch list stocks on the pit yesterday. Cars. Cars.com breaking down. RXST breaking down. Well, sometimes, Richard. Sometimes. He's awesome. RXST. I don't know if options are good on these stocks, but the stocks themselves are fantastic. These are A-plus setups to the downside. BMY, OEC. I don't think the options will be great on most of them. Just giving you heads up. But the setups themselves are fantastic. And also a lot of them are cheap, so you don't have to worry about options. Let me see something here. And I think Wendy's is still going to go down some more. I would just wait for it to break down. But that was one of the stocks, the bonus stocks I gave you this week. Now let's look at long stocks. I like this, except it's a little overextended. Should be closer. The volatility is about 3 times where I would like to buy it. Okay. GE. I like GE. The problem, once again, volatility, a little ahead of itself. I want it half of where volatility is right now. Now, there's a reason why I'm showing you the Bollinger Band width on every stock I'm doing today. There's a reason for that. And I'll get to that in a second. Let's see. About double where it should be right now, or at least 50%. CVNA. Volatility should be 20. It's 3 times higher than it should than what you need to buy it. Well, Roger, why are you giving us all these stocks if they're all overbought? Because I want you to see what the market conditions right now and why the Nasdaq is not going to break through. Because we have a bunch of overbought stocks breaking out. 14.5, 3 times higher. Schwab. This one doesn't look too bad. No, Schwab doesn't look too bad. Okta. Yep, overdone. HWM. You'll notice that most of the stocks on my watch list today have run up substantially from the 50-day, and they're way, way above the 8-day. That's what I'm trying to show you here. That's what all this is. Every stock on my watch list, look, it's not here. It's here. Look at the levels of volatility. AER. This one's okay. AER is okay, but the majority of them are not. TRV, Travelers. This one's okay. Travelers is okay. VIRT. Notice all of them are not in a clear trend, like right here. They're all overextended. They're all deviated from the 8-day. This is a good level. It's 3 times as much deviated. And lastly, Aura. Aura. Yep, this one looks good. This is definitely a nice breakout. Aura. Point is, the majority. So here's the summary. Almost every stock that I like to the long side, almost, not every stock, but almost every stock that I like to the long side is overextended. Okay. Stocks that are in a downtrend are starting to come up. Stocks that have been in an uptrend are overdone, and stocks that are coming up from a downtrend are starting to become juicy once again. The problem is, if we don't continue seeing this today, this number get above 100, and if this number here starts declining, which I think it will, from 430 back down, I think we're going to see a compression and consolidation. Also, tell me, what institutional investor is going to make a big move ahead of this weekend news with China? You know their ass is going to get fired. Richard, ask me at lunchtime. You're always there. Ask me at lunchtime. I'm going to go through all of this at lunchtime. Wishing everyone a blessing Mother's Day weekend. Husbands, don't forget to be extra kind to the miss. Oh, definitely. Definitely not. All right. So it's Friday. It's Friday. We don't have Fed data, a lot of Fed data. We have Fed speakers during the day. It could be touch and go today, depending on what they say. You need to have the bond market you need to have volatility. You need to have VIX. You need to watch volatility to see if are we heading towards 19 or are we heading towards the 8-day AMA? Are we heading above 20? Are we heading finally below 20? If we below 20, it can trigger institutional buying. Don't think it's going to happen today. Way too much uncertainty over the weekend. What Jeff just said, not if they're in their right mind. I don't, almost every stock on my watch list is deviated. Let me just give you an example. Almost every stock is deviated. Not every stock, but almost every stock is deviated. In other words, it's not coming up. They're already well in the trend, which means this can come all the way down here without even blinking twice. Okay? Can't get rid of this thing for some reason. Okay. It's very easy for us to come here and then bounce back. Point is, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. TEM, let's take a look at TEM. That was our trade from yesterday in the pit. It's just, this thing's just getting started. Look, I want to show you something. So we got it yesterday here, right? When it was right there. Look where I got it. Capiche? We were right around here. That's why I bought it. If we were here, so, okay, I'm going to explain to you what I'm fearful of. We're now right here. See this? This is what we look like right now. We would be buying here and not here. And this is what I'm fearful of. So I'm fearful that this in the market and all of these 20 stocks that I just showed you is going to turn into this. Whereas if you buy near here, you're not going to experience all of that here. That's what this tool is for. Yes, we practice what we preach. We went long and we all made money in the stock. Funny, people were sending me their fills before I even got out yesterday. That was the first. That usually never happens, but it happened yesterday. And it's already up about 2% today. I told you, I never pick stocks unless they would be the best swing trading stocks. Folks, don't forget, Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show from 10 to 1. Here's my link to my day trading class. I'll remind you in the VIP room. Today is your day in the VIP room. You will be the boss. I am going to be following your lead. You will be giving me stocks, and I will be analyzing them for you. And I will not be holding back any punches. That's number 2. And let me give you a link to Customer Service Live. And make sure, Tyson, I'll look at. Remember, I'll be here at 12 o'clock. You can ask me all these questions then. I think Tyson's going to come right back down. It's not really doing much. It kind of reminds me of Pepsi Cola. Just kind of not doing anything. Not doing anything and going against you are completely two different things. Remember that. All right, bye, guys. I'm going to go have some plantain chips before I head to work. I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, email me, roger@rogerscott.com. Let's not argue about politics. Let's not get into anything today. Let's just have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. As Jill just said, have a fabulous day, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay, too. It's fine. It's a free world. Free world out there. Bye, everybody. Be careful. It's Friday. Be mindful. Don't